Okay, so now I've got pencils here. Orange, crimson red, blush pink, my favorite colors ever, and Spanish orange, which is what I'm using instead of a lemon yellow. It's kind of an acidic yellow. I don't really like it, but that's what I'm using as the lemon yellow there. So let me quickly sit down and figure out how I'm going to color these apricots. Apricots always have a nice little blush on them. And where is my light source here? It's over here somewhere. So I'm just going to color along the edges of the lines, which is, I don't know, something I've seen people do with crayons when I was a kid. It looked kind of pretty. But you color lightly and you do the edges of lines. Okay, here's some more of those apricots. I mean, they look a little bit like olives, but weird olives. And this is one of those things that's bitter, a persimmon. So I plan to do Prismacolor wax pencils over this, and this is kind of testing out the paper and working on my skills with these excuse me, pencils. There's another one that's not distinguishable from the peach, and oh boy, do I have some inspiration. I mean, pear. Look at these pretty babies. Look at the blush colors there in the yellow. Actually, I think of pears as yellow, and usually when I color them now, I color them green because they're usually green in the store, like this. But it's still yellow and a dotty green that makes it look that way.
The best simple pasta ever? California walnuts. The best simple dinner ever? Great tasting, heart-healthy.
Trying to see who made them, who grew them.
So simple.
Anyway, it's a little reminder about not doing flat colors when you're coloring. Oops. So, pears. I must have another yellow. I used it a lot last night. It looks like sunburst yellow. Okay, it's a warm yellow. Okay, that's the yellow. So, apricots. Okay. What I want to do is see how this looks when I film, putting a little wash on it. And I think I need a little bit of green on those pears.
Pressure from at least 6 federal investigations looking into possible ethics violations. Well, more on this in just a moment.
think this one might be an apple.
24 hours after the president announced his new acting chief of staff, White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney. Two sources tell NBC that Mulvaney asked to be named chief of staff on an acting capacity because he wanted a safe exit in place. Mulvaney now has been a loyal Trump supporter, but before the 2016 election, he did have this to say about then candidate Trump.
No, that's right, apples underneath. They do have sort of a yellowish color. Even the red ones. Speaking of which, look at the yellow underneath in this little baby. I picked these because they have such... This is a Washington grown apple. Such very, very beautiful. Color. Yeah, see, that's pretty appley looking there. Instead of, look at this one when I did from my, with just one color. Okay. Well, the light source is all over the place here because these were like just put in with the thing in the same place on all of them, regardless of which way they're facing. Now this one needs to be real smooth, persimmon, and they're quite orange. Really lovely. Okay, let's put a little more orange in here. So I'm anxious to hit the water here, and then I will take a break from the filming. These are just some craft brushes here. They're not my, this is distilled water here. I don't have a little rag here to wipe my brush on.
But that is a position that we are not surprised to see there's a vacancy. It's the kind of thing that was predicted, and certainly there are a lot of reasons why. Then we shift over to the
rinse, even though I'm even going back with the same color.
John Kelly exiting for a period.
Oh, look at how greeny those look.
By the end of the year, John Kelly, retired four-star Marine General, will leave his post here. But what makes this so interesting is that Mick Mulvaney, who has been serving the president as the director of the Office of Management and Budget, isn't giving up that title. He is Senate confirmed for that position and has requested being the acting chief of staff. That really does give it a temporary spin. And of course, there are real questions about what does that mean for his role. One of the most powerful.
I guess I shouldn't have that TV on in the background.
But in a Trump world, we have seen how
Okay, that's good. Now, I rinse it again before I put it in this water, even though I'm still using basically the same color, because I don't want to be putting any color into that water. That's my distilled water.
some political experience. He's a retired
Ooh, there's a nice lemon yellow, so that's coming from the sunburst yellow.
3 or 4 terms there. And so he's got a bit of a sense
There's some indication of shading in these already
of the budget side. And of course,
in the drawing,
becomes more critical as we have this
and you can use that to as a guide for where you might want to put
asterisks around it. Why acting? Why not a further commitment? And of course now an opening.
darker watercolor pencil before you wet it to make that be the shaded part, because you can use that to spread up into a wash. Let's see what happens with these grapes. I'm just going to wash over the whole thing. So, look at these grapes. They're all coming out from a stem like balloons. Okay. There. Any more grapes? No. I have a little bit of purple in my brush from doing that, so I'm just going to go ahead and
we reported that a significant amount of money went to Trump's own business, the Trump Organization, and we obtained and published emails that Ivanka Trump is on, in which
oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess my verbal thing is working because I'm thinking and there are words in my head. They're just not coming out of my mouth. That's good to know. Okay, watermelon over here. There's this apple we just did down here. Ooh. And then these little lined parts, they're going to disappear into the wash. If we remember, we'll put them back in with the dry colored pencil later.
This Trump passed the inquiry on to a hotel official and said only that any resulting discussions should be at a fair market rate.
And more strawberries. Okay, here's some more apricots. I'm just trying to stick with similar colors and let them dry between. I haven't done any of the green yet.
The other thing about the statement from Ivanka's spokesman that you just read is, I went back and forth with him, asked him, please show me the emails where Ivanka says charge them a fair market rate. They declined to do that. So
I think persimmons have a pretty dark and hard upper.
So I think that's important to know. The other thing is that it turns out
I don't know what you call this thing. That is where the blossom comes out and then turns into the fruit where the stem was. Leaves. Okay, so I think this is probably getting a little bit boring to watch. I'm not doing much but noodling around, but setting a good example of always rinsing my brush before I ever stick it in my distilled water. And as I say, when I'm doing watercolors, I have one of these of tap water, this with tap water, this with tap water, sometimes distilled, and this distilled. So I rinse here, clean it off, and run it on a cloth that isn't here, rinse it again, rinse it again, and then into my water that goes into my palette, or in this case onto where I have the dry colors there to wet with my brush. Alright, next I'm going to do this one just... I'm going to let it float all around.
That would be a violation of the law. The IRS could impose all kinds of fines on both the Trump Organization and the inaugural committee. So again, we don't actually know how much the Trump Organization ultimately charged. We know that there were even...
I don't know what these leaves are. I think I should probably make one side of them dark. Here's where I put color only on top of the black so that it would spread. I don't know if it's going to do what I'm expecting it to do, but that's what I'm planning to do. And I don't know what I'm going to do with these little white outlines. I might leave little white outlines. I don't know. Okay, let's see. There's a strawberry that needs some water. And an orange.
There's no question that the legal
I think what I'll do on this one
has increased exponentially.
is let these dry
Screen there. It's the Trump business, it's the Trump Foundation, it's the Inaugural Committee, it's this administration.
and then go over it with water again
Some degree of scrutiny
for those,
federal officials
but over the whole thing.
federal law enforcement. And of course, this comes just days
All right, is there anything else left to do? No, a lot of green to do.
He sentenced to 3 years in prison for what prosecutors say were hush money payments he made to women to keep them silent about affairs with Donald Trump. That they charged was at the
I'm
direction
gonna
of President Trump. Of course, the president himself denies
use a dry-ish brush.
that. Siege mentality here.
Okay, now these have a darker line
We have all these investigations ongoing. You have
of watercolor pencil in the middle.
detail, including the last 24 hours, both Mulvaney switching jobs and Zinke heading out.
Now that's doing pretty much what I expected.
Signs of an economic perhaps slowdown, which is very perilous to this president's re-election chances, his advisors believe. And as of January, the Democrats have taken
I don't even have any pencil in these, but I can use
the subpoena and plenty of
what the brush is picking up.
And this is the White House that is now hurrying up for what they expect to be a long, protracted, and potentially very perilous fight in the months ahead.
But Jonathan, do you think that the fact that we've been keeping our eye on 6 bouncing balls, if you will, that has helped?
Well, these are all the same color and they're not very big, so
All the focus was on, say,
I have enough water in my brush. This is a craft brush, but it is
different things in just in terms of the public.
it's a Robert Simmons.
That the media has had sometimes trouble keeping track of everything. And certainly, if imagine how it looks to the general public. Right, there is just so much going on, day after day. It's an onslaught of headlines,
Craft
a fire hose of news, and
something, I don't know.
feeds to that with his constant tweets, with a barrage
Right,
of
there you go.
misinformation, half truths, sometimes outright lies that he and his advisors add to the conversation in terms of both these investigations. His dealing with
Okay.
Hill, his dealing with Democrats.
So it's a pretty nice little brush. As you can see, it's been used on a lot of materials. It is a craft brush, but I believe it's sable. If it's not sable, it's a good synthetic that mimics it. But see that nice point? Boing, boing, boing. And it holds what I need in terms of water. I went all the way around all this green here. Could have done more, but I didn't want to get green mixed into stuff. Okay, and let's see if this has any meaning here. Experimenting with what I might want to do. Whoops, see, I just stuck that right in there because I got overexcited. All right, that's that. I'm just going to wait for it to dry. I personally enjoy watching paint dry, but I'm not going to film that for other people to do. Well, that looks pretty nice. Oh, I know what I didn't do. I didn't do the plaque here. I knew there was something. And I really wanted to do this because I put pencil only around the edges of this shape to see if it would give a sense of depth. Maybe that's what I need to do, just go on that first. And then, anyway, these are these are Prismacolor watercolor pencils, and they're really nicely ground because, as you can see, this is yellow. They're really nicely formulated because this is going into a nice delicate little wash here, as it should. Nothing squirrely looking anywhere. Let's see what happens if we do a second wash on top of just water. See if these move around any. A little. I was going to do that over here too. I'm going to do it right now. Just leave it there. Okay. So, let's see how this works. How the sound works and everything. Oh yeah, because I'm talking down into this. I think maybe.
What he was doing at the Interior Department was very, very much supportive of his agenda.
Just one of those little microphone things I can lay on the table here. All right, so we'll leave it at that, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. Thank you for watching. Thank myself for watching. This one, I don't know what I'm doing, but oh, look how much prettier these real ones are. Oh my. This is
and so it looks like he's stepping aside, waiting for somebody else to be ushered into that role.
A split complementary.
Can I ask, is there any chance that David Bernhardt, who is the Deputy Interior Secretary,
Red and green.
Previously, Trump has certainly
No. Yeah, red and green. And yellow-green. We don't have any blue-green, but if we put leaves on these, what would we have? Blue-green. Perfected harmony. That is two opposite colors. And then on the each side of one of them, I believe tertiary colors. So there'd be not two opposites, one primary and one secondary. And then of the secondary, orange, yellow, orange. Yeah, of the secondary, then you also get the tertiary colors on each side of it. So on a circle, it looks like this. One color, the opposite color, and these two colors, like a Y with one in the middle. And that is the color harmony that we find in nature, in which we can draw from nature. And color harmony is what I'm going to be doing in my videos. Color mixing and color harmony. That's what I do, and that's what I love. And I hope to share it with you, and how color relates to astrology and other metaphysical traditions, and how we get which stones belong to which astrological signs, and lots of things like that. So fun for me, and I hope it's fun for you.